Hello, good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. It is 1 week until I get a nice long weekend. Next weekend is the 4th of July weekend, Independence Day here in the United States. And my company decided to give me a floating holiday for that Friday before. So I get a 4-day weekend instead of just the normal 3-day holiday weekend, which is going to be super exciting. But that's going to be next week. Until then, I've got a normal week to look forward to. So today, I've got the task list up above us. We're going to be working on creating and showing the deck of cards. So right now we have our game loaded up, which like this font is impossible for me to see. So we've got to change that. Let's just change that really quickly. The blue is pretty good. The purple is bad. I think we're getting that with the links, aren't we? So I want to change that. There's you see. No, here, I'll just do the Google search again. I should just bookmark this. This is material web components. Components? Yeah, I think that's right. Throw you there. Okay, so it should be easier for me to come back here. We're looking for button. Dota, hello! How are you doing today? Looking for MWC button and how to customize this. Oh, and the tea finish brewing. Perfect. So we notice that it is this blue. That's fine. Oh, but I could make have that. You broke production? Oh no. How bad was it? Hopefully not too bad. Fixing it right now. Well, good luck with that. I know the feeling that comes with breaking production and having to fix it really quickly. Here it is, custom colors. So we can do this entire MDC theme primary. This is what we need to do. So I can go ahead and just copy you and go to our front end, close you down. Let's go into our custom button. Wait for VTour to come up. You can just roll back the previous container. That's the best part about any kind of like CI/CD or container system or whatever. Just rolling back is an instantaneous fix. Okay, so let's see if this works. I don't know if I'm gonna like this color, but I just want to see whether or not this actually, does the thing that's supposed to do. Well, instantaneous equals 6 minutes. Yes, I mean, okay, so yes, it's true. It does take 6 minutes, but that's a lot better than like hours. Which it could be hours if like you had to make a code change again, run through all the tests, go through the process. So 6 minutes is not bad. There we go. Okay. So this is a lot more readable. Let's just keep it as this for right now. So we can come here to that and all the buttons are the right color. So perfect. Now, once we're in this area, I want to see a deck of cards. There are 52 cards in a deck of cards. So for right now, we just want to sort of like have just a representation of like the face down deck. I have a deck of cards and it's upstairs. I'm not gonna go get it right now, but if I need to sort of like to imagine things out, I'll go grab it. But I'm thinking right here we put like the face down deck of cards, and then we go from there. And in here, I put the link to a GitHub repo that has assets for playing cards. And if we go to the PNG, here is the back right here. Here's the back. Oh, that's double the size. I don't need double the size. Okay, so just back. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to pull you down. Yeah, that's all fine. Where do I? Okay, so the front end is going to be the one that needs this. So you. Now I'm not sure exactly where to put. I guess I'll just put this, and then we'll copy them over into here. Because I don't want to create like a sub repo. I don't think that's going to be helpful for us. So I'm going to cd into. So where am I? Code. Okay, so then not playgrounds. I have actually one called other, which is owned by other people. And then the other thing in here, we have a README. This is great and all, but I'm going to replace you. Check. Okay, so for the assets that we're pulling in, we are, I guess, like, let's do like web components. They're from here. We have art. Okay, so for our art, we're looking at like the cards. So in cards, it's from here. Okay, I want to make sure that I give like proper attribution. Plus, if I ever want to go find them again, I actually have a link. Okay, so if we have these, now I want to copy the back first. Because like when you have the pile of face down cards, we just have the back of it. So yes. So we're gonna go into PNG. Here is back. So we're gonna copy back. PNG, okay. Then I want to put this in. So we go out one, out another, maybe 3. Yeah, okay, 3. And then we're gonna go to the deck card simulator front end. And then we have an assets here. Yes. Yeah, we do have an assets in here. Source assets. Just throw that in there. So here it is. We have our back. Now, can I see exactly what you are? You're 157 by 238. So if I were to load that up exactly as it is right now without any modifications, which, I mean, I'm happy for at least the beginning not to do any major modifications. That means in our plane, okay, so we probably want like a card. And we want to show the card its back or its front, right? Yeah, that makes sense. We're probably gonna have a card component. And this is just going to be an image tag. I don't know if we need it to be anything else. So image source. Let's see. This is a PNG. I wonder. Let's do like back of a card. Source. Now I can't just go directly into here, but maybe what I can do is like bind this into here. So we're going to do a script. So this is going to be a back from, okay. Come out of here, go to assets, back.png. Okay, can I actually do that? I don't know. No, okay, I don't think I can, but maybe we can do a data here. We'll have back. That could just be it. We just pull in back, okay. So if I do this, and then we're gonna go into our the main room. Let's pull in card. Okay, so we have our section, we have our main section in here. So I want to put this just in this main section. So we're going to throw in card, close the card. And there we go. Okay, this is the size that is huge. We need this to be a lot smaller. Now we could just set up what we want this to be. I think for right now, I'm just gonna set this up to be like, well, okay, we're in that component. So we should be able to go into card here and just use styles to change it. And then I don't have to change the art until like verify what the size that I want this to be. I'm not gonna prematurely optimize this image. Because I don't know what I need to optimize it to be. Probably multiple sizes, depending upon if you're using a phone or a tablet or a computer. Yeah, so let's see. We're gonna take our image and we're gonna make our, I think we can just do one of them. I think we just do width at, let's try like 2.5. I've never been sure if I want to use like rem for images. I do know it's possible. Open up that. Let's play around with this. So here's our image. Oh, I need to refresh every time. There. Okay, so that makes that size. Now I could like increase this. We could also do pixels, like just solid pixels. I can do percentage. I don't know if any of those things really make sense. So let's say I do 3. Just 3. that actually feels pretty good in the center because we don't really need anything on top of this. But we do need to be able to say like how many there are in this deck. So we're gonna want to put this in the center. We also want this to be like the center deck. So I'm thinking that we're gonna make another component for that. So we're gonna have a template, and for this template, we're gonna have the cards, which just means card. So like that. We have our script. Okay, so let's say we pull that in, and then we're also gonna have like a label in here. Oh no, dang it, never sounds good. Oh, you think you know why it's not working? Well, why is it not working? Why is production broken? Probably want like a p tag and something like 52. You're using Next.js and you inject a TypeScript file that loads just API calls, and that file is server-side generated, which doesn't make sense. Yeah, that does sound a little bit odd. So I don't know if I want cards remaining or just 52. Then before we do this, we need to head back out to room. And so now instead of card, we're gonna have deck. We're gonna be on deck. You're not happy. Up. Yep. We need a Come on. Do the thing what I want. There we go. Okay, so 52 cards remaining. I also want to like put this into the center of the room, but we'll get to that in a little bit. That won't be too terribly hard. Okay, for you, do I want it to be like this, where it's like 52 cards remaining? I'm kind of thinking just like that. And then I want to center this 52 to the card. So we need to know, let's see, how would I center the 52 to the card? We make them both, okay, so our section, so we need some styling. So we're gonna have our section, we're gonna display, flex, and we're gonna have the orientation. It's the, what is it called? Direction? Flex direction, column? Not exactly. Let's... Oh, and then I think we need one more thing to justify content center. Not the justify. Align content. None of those two. What's the other things that I can do here? Oh, do I need to give them widths so they know what their width is? You have a width. You should have an auto width. But let's say we give you a width of like 100%. Then there's align items and line content. I always forget which one actually does the one I want to, or if it's the one I want to. Let's try align content. Let's see that. Oh, we need. It's gonna be text. So like for this P, we're gonna want it to be a text align center. That brings it to here. So our width of the entire component needs to be restrained to like essentially the width of the image. So that's what, 3 rem. Essentially 2.5 rem, it sounds like would be perfect for this. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to give a width to this section. So for the deck, our section gets a width. I actually don't know if we need this then. I think we just need to give the section a width of 2.5 rem. And then our P is going to get a line. Is it a line? Oh, it's text align. It's text align center. So if we do that, refresh, and there we go. Okay, so now this should be the right size. And now I should be able to move that down using, so in the room, this section here is gonna have to be class main. You're also gonna have to display view or flex. Okay. That displays flex. Okay, so here's main. At this point, we could now maybe say like be in the middle. So if you're display flex, we have the align content center. You don't care about that. Oh, there's justify content. Okay, center. So basically center for this, okay? And then align content. Oh, what's the middle one? There's like a vertical align. Vertical align middle, but then I need to give this a height so it knows how much that is. Now, if I say something like 100%, oh, so you wouldn't be vertical align middle there. This would be the vertical align middle, right? Maybe? What are you upset about? Oh, display inline or display table cell. Display. Oh, so I need to do it to like this thing up here to tell how it's going to vertical align it. Right. Now, if I give you, just to make sure I like understand how big this is, background color is gonna be just like light red. That's not a thing. Ah, okay. Light coral. I need this to go all the way down. So this height 100% isn't cutting it. Now the white height 100% is based upon its child, like its parents. This goes all the way down. Okay, this height goes all the way down. Now, can I say height 100% here? No, that won't help, because that's still then that. So your app, like, how do we know to go all the way down there? Where's this border around? Okay, the border's around here. So that goes all the way down to here. So we should have, okay, so if I do a background color light, maybe dark. Yeah, that, okay, this goes all the way down to this point. So that works. So I'm okay with main taking up all this room horizontally. I also want it to take up all the room vertically. Now, I should, there's a system in here. Right, okay, so we can see that its height is 353.7. Now as I change that, that changes obviously, but okay, that's fine. So 350.1 right now. Inside for main, its height, oh, okay. I change, okay. Its height is now set properly. For you need, okay, that's interesting. That's cool. Hold on. What did I do to make that work? Oh, you're over here now. Oh, I think I accidentally moved it. That's why. Or wait, you're in here. Okay, so we don't display that less flex. We come down to this point. Okay, so I'm curious, like, because I forgot what I did. So I'm gonna refresh, which sort of resets this. Now we have to figure out what we did to get this working. So we're gonna come back to here. So we're in main. So this has a width of 75 view width, and we have this display. Then you're okay. You're the deck of cards. So I want to. All of you are showing the 100% height. So you're in the middle. Okay, so I want you to be in the middle. So that's the justify content center, like that. Okay, so this is on main. Let's go ahead and do that right now before we forget. So in room main, and have a justify content center. Okay, there we go. Now, if we take a look at this thing, this height is 100% of this height of the div or whatever, the block. So I want to pull it down into the middle. So here, which is the deck, I want to vertical line. Don't know if I can vertical align it. Do I have to display flex it? No. And by doing a display flex, that makes it the entire height here, which means that image, like the width here we have, oh, that's not good. Now we can, let's see, remember. You are 157 by 238. If I want to take you down by half each, at 78.5, and we'll get to the other one, which 238, what is that, like one? So 1.5, and then 4. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get. That's 78.5. Let's put that in here first. You challenged me to make all the suits using purely CSS. Well, first of all, good morning, Devlex. And second of all, yeah. No, not gonna do it. That's I actually know people that are good enough at CSS that they could do that pretty easily, but this is as much CSS flex as I can give you, and look at that. Look at that beautiful CSS flex. This is, I mean, I should just ship it right now, right? So I kind of don't want to do that. We kind of want to do like a width of, I already forgot, it was what, 78.5. What? Oh, it's in here that we're playing around with it. 70. So if I do that, okay. Keep on forgetting I don't have to save in the browser. You can never flex too much. I mean, in a way, that's true. Okay, then 238 divided by 2. 38 divided by 2, 119. Okay, so I was way off in my estimation. Height, 119. Now, this is interesting. Look at this. So it's telling me, oh, pixels. There we go. Okay. So there's our stuff. Chantilly, hello. Okay, that makes it happier. Now if I want to pull this down, we come here. So we actually want this to be that size. It's like the 78.5 and a 119. That way it is that full amount. We have display flex. We want to flex direction. Oh wait, devlex. Oh, go take a look at what that link was. Oh, interesting. That was a YouTube video. Heart 30. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, I don't actually know if I have YouTube, but it's also like not YouTube like that. It's like youtube.be. That's still actually YouTube links. Anyways, sorry about that. I don't know what that link was though. What was it? Can you tell me? So I want you flex direction column. So that puts you down there. Align. Oh, the vertical line. Okay, so middle. You're unhappy. Okay, vertical line has nothing to do with flex. Oh, YouTube is YouTube's URL shortener. Oh, okay, hold on. Is that true? Also, how did it like that link and not the other one you gave me? Yeah, that does take me to YouTube. That's so strange. That is strange. Looking at you. What is it? It's u2.be. Spam protection. Oh, because I have YouTube allowed, not u2.be. Okay, let's try that. I allowed youtube.be. Oh, how to make a heart in CSS. Which I think, what is it like? Start with, like, do 2 of these and then circles. Is that what it is? That's usually what it is, isn't it? And then just repeat that over again on the left. Yeah. And then circles. And then you have a heart. Oh. Okay. Ah, over there. Okay. Oh, the before and after, which I rarely use. I've never really like found I don't know. I've never done enough advanced CSS that like before and after is like something I actually need. Okay, so I want to pull this down into the middle. It's not vertical line. It's let's see, the CSS tricks. Flexbox. This is the thing that I usually come back to over and over and over again. For like how to do everything. Oh, look. Did they update this? No. Oh, actually, no, they did. April 7th, 2021. Oh, okay, nice. So like horizontal line. Okay, so center here, align items in the center. Okay, so it is align items. You can also use shadows and transform individual. Oh yeah. So I'm probably not planning on doing like super advanced stuff for this version, because like it's probably not time. So what was that? Align items. There's align items. Yeah, like eventually I'm gonna get there, but I want to like find out what works for them. Look at this. That's aligning that, but not aligning the image. Do images not play well with Flexbox? I could throw the image into a div. So we have this here. Okay, so here's this. I want to do like align items. So you're not doing any of that stuff anymore. That's fine. How about align content? None of that works either. So that main is there. I don't think I need to do. There's no like flex stuff, right? Now what's interesting is that this is saying align content has no effects on this element since it's neither a flex container nor a grid container. Oh, so we need to do a display flex. That doesn't do anything for us. Let's try align items again. Ooh. Wait. There we go. Okay. Center. And then we're gonna do a flex direction of column. What? Oh, wait. Direction and column are not compatible with each other. Okay. So we do this here. So, okay. The deck needs to have display flex and align items center. So the deck for this section is going to be display flex and align items. I think it was align items. Yeah. Center. Okay. So we do that, and we should now be back to here. And now our deck, we have, okay, P52. I think I would need one more div in here. For this div, we're going to give it a class of, this is like the container where the cards are. So like, I don't know, cards. And I want you to be a display flex and a flex direction column. There we go. Now we have this centered and we have this in here. So my favorite thing about like working with CSS is like the instant feedback using the dev tools. I remember using CSS without the dev tools, and oh man, that sucked. But okay, so we now have you in the center, which is perfect. So we have our deck of cards sitting there in the middle. Now the deck of cards, we need to like represent this with like actually in the game itself. Otherwise, it's not really that helpful. Like, yeah, we can show that there, but we need to know how many cards actually exist. Okay, so let's commit this up because that's, you know, it's good to have all these going. We have 136 morning. We need to fix this too. I'm gonna commit before I potentially fix that. There's our front end. So, and the deck of cards in the middle. Yes, commit often. That is exactly right. If I want to fix these so I can actually trust my errors and warnings, which is kind of nice, we need to take this prettier and like stop this. Now we have this ESLint RC here. Is there anything else? I don't think so. So I need to tell, so this is ESLint for prettier. Commit often, amend later. Or just many commits. Just have a pollution of commits. It's fine. But like true talk, I would much rather have too many commits that are hard to look through than not enough commits. Like if I was to have one or the other, I would choose the too much. Okay, so I want ESLint prettier CR carriage return. Okay, are you gonna just tell me what to do? Okay, so you're suggesting that we create this file and then we put this end of line auto. Okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can do that in the ESLint RC, can't I? ESLint RC prettier. Oh, okay. So prettier has its own thing. So ESLint prettier. Okay, so we have extends prettier. I think we already have that. Extends view prettier. Okay, that's probably similar. Then I think there's a way to like customize the prettier inside of this with like custom rules. Oh, with this. Okay, so we can have rules. Okay, so we're gonna have, okay, so we have rules like this. No console debugger. And oh, this doesn't give me like a list of all the options. Nope. Okay, so you're yelling at me about something called so that's not actually telling me. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We could do prettier slash prettier. Hold on. You're suggesting to me We can throw this into here. Maybe? That doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, there's like several of these that I could throw in. Okay. And if we come in here, hit save. Yeah, none of this actually. None of that worked. Oh, we can do, okay, so we can do rules. Is this in rules? Prettier air. Oh, okay, so hold on. This, I think, goes into rules, like that. And we can say prettier, allow. That's not like changing them to errors or warnings or anything else. That's not doing what I want. By the way, this is, when I clicked on the, like 3 links in a row, it eventually brought me to this page. And so I saw this and was like, hey, maybe I can throw this in here. So an object representing options that will be passed into Prettier. So, which then are going to be these options itself. So that's nice. But where does that go? This option will emerge and overwrite any config set with .prettier.rc files. Okay, so that's nice. But in here we can have like prettier error. Turns on the rule provided by this plugin, which runs prettier from within ESLint. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Does that go out here? Like what with this other one that they're showing? This one. So I could take you. Okay, save you. And in Prettier, we want the end. Where's the carriage return? Okay, end of line. We want auto, I believe. What is it called? End of line? EOL? End of line like that. That doesn't seem to be doing anything. How about that? Hitting save doesn't seem to do anything here either. Let's see. The other choices is LF, CRLF, CR. How about CRLF? Yeah, I don't know how to get this to like take. And I don't even know if this is like what it's like, where it's supposed to be either. Here. I guess I can Google for view prettier. Yes, then RC. Maybe like Windows CRLF. We'll do. Does somebody else have like a nice example file that we can just take? Maybe one of those. No, that's not helpful. Oh, there's this line break style 0. Really? Oh, okay. We could try that. What's that? Line break style 0. Yeah, that doesn't like that. So answer is no. Not for that. I will have to figure this out later. Like this is one of those things where like I've done it like years ago and then I just like never remembered. And so now I don't know where to go. I could also put in, let's see, there is that prettier. Can I just do the end of line here? End of line auto. No, okay, so it doesn't like either of these unless I do like end of line. I don't think that's what it is. Yeah, all right, I'll have to figure this out later. To look it up, and then once I get that, we can put it into my my wiki, so I don't have to do this ever again, which would be nice. I get like it's so easy to get just what is the right word? I feel extremely pampered. No, that's not the right word. But like by like Rust Analyzer and Clippy, they just take care of all of this stuff for me. I don't have to worry about like any of this tooling. It's just, oh, it's so nice. And I know there's other languages that do that too, which is super nice for those languages as well. All right, well, the real thing that we want to do next, instead of like playing with this and trying to figure out why it's yelling at me about a million carriage returns, but not actually giving me good error messages. Well, yeah, not great error messages. So let's instead move on to I think our back end. So what we need to do is we need to know how many cards are in the deck. So we could, for example, let's close all these up. In our store, we can have like the deck that we're looking at. So we can only be in one room at a time as a player. Let's just have that be like a limitation. So we can have like a deck, like the draw deck, and so you could be null or a number, or just a number. Let's say that you're null to begin with, but then when we get messages back from the back end, we're gonna want let's see, for messages coming back, we're going to want to find out what the size of our deck is, of the draw deck is, and set that. That sounds like in message, we can have something like a draw deck. So if message dot draw deck count. Oh, so this is gonna be interesting. I don't think I can do this because if it's 0, that's gonna be falsy, and that's not good. So what if we just do a commit to sort of set the, okay, let's first console.log. What would this be if we don't have that in there? It'll probably error out, but we can use the question mark operator. So we're gonna do message dot, I think it's question dot draw deck size. And this question mark will make it, I think, a null or an undefined or some kind of falsy. So if we head back to here, yeah, it's this undefined. So it becomes undefined, which is perfect. So if it's undefined, then this will just be empty. So we're gonna want a mutations set draw deck. So this would be like draw deck size. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So now we can commit to this from message, and we'll pass this in. Now we're initially setting this to be null. So if we see it becoming undefined, that should be fine. So here in Vuex, we load the state. Now I know this is really small. I'm super sorry. I can't zoom this in. I don't know if there's like a good way to like, I wonder if like OBS has something where I can like zoom in there. But right now our draw deck size is null here. And so if I go to create a game, we get something back, and now it's undefined because we didn't get anything back from that. But that's fine. Now, if it's undefined, I want to not display this at all. So we want to head back into the deck here, and we're probably going to want to take, well, this can listen to like the count of cards, like the number of cards, and that's going to be this here, and we're going to display that. Dota, have you ever written code where part of it was so wrong you wondered how it ever worked? Yes, I have. At one point in time, we had quotes from people up on a wall at like one of my previous companies, and I think the one of my quotes was, well, if that wasn't what we just fixed, how is it still working? I think that's what like got put up on a wall. It was awesome and terrifying at the same time. I don't like we eventually did find out that like what like everything was just working just fine, but like oh man. Yeah. Yep, I've been there. Okay, so let's have a computed property that will tell us the number of cards in the deck. So we're gonna have a computed property. And this is gonna be the card count. So we're going to return 0 if it's undefined. Otherwise, we're gonna return the number of cards. And I guess it's going to be two things, right? Maybe we should have like, we have card count, and we should also probably have like deck exists. This will be a Boolean. So this one can be pretty simple. It's going to be a return this dot store dot state dot draw deck size. Draw deck size is like not null. Or undefined. I can't remember if null handles undefined as well. Since it becomes undefined, we'll find out pretty quickly. Okay, so there's this one. Now the card count is gonna be we want to return this dot store state dot draw deck size, and that's just gonna be it. This is gonna be a number. So for card here, we only want to display that if the deck exists. In fact, this entire thing only needs to be displayed if the deck exists. So if if deck exists, then display these, and then this is going to be card count, like that. So now that's completely disappeared. In state here, if I come to draw deck size and I just manually change this to like 25, now it appears there and it's 25. So as this gets changed and as we get messages with the deck size going down, that number should auto update. Okay, which means it's time for us now to like send this back, right? So in our backend, where would this be done? So we have like our library. This is where things are coming back in probably our main state. We have the clients. Oh, we have our rooms. So each room is going to have its own game going on. It's its own deck. And I think this is a problem here, because we just have like rooms, a hash map of like string and then a vec address. The string being like the room codes. That's fine. But I'm thinking we're going to need the room to not just be a vector of the socket addresses, but probably its own struct to then hold like the state of that room. So like we need a room struct. So then in here, I don't know if it needs to be pub or not. Let's just do a mod of room. And then looking at this, we need to make sure the rooms have these socket addresses. So we're gonna have addresses. So that's gonna be it's gonna be exactly this. After that, let's see, what are you upset about? Oh, you're right. You can't be modded there. You need to be modded here. There we go. Okay, then we pull you in. Okay, so we have the addresses, and then, so let's get this working exactly how it was before. So it's a nice little like setup for this. So we're gonna want an implement for room function. Let's create new, so we can. Do I need to do that? Where is this created? So rooms is now going to be probably just a vector of no hash map of then room goes in here. Main state. Okay, we do the self default. That would be probably fine. We'll just have to create like default for room 2. And then pass things through. So create room. Okay. So you would be changed to this room, which means you now need to implement default, debug and default, right? So debug. Rooms insert. This is in create room. So if we're creating a new room, we're going to take in the address, which is a socket address, and we're going to be returning a self. And so that's going to be saying self addresses. It's going to be a new vector with address inside. So then here, we're going to be saying room new, and I guess the address. Oh no, your site broke because of bug, and oh, I hate it when there's a bug in a vendor or a library or something like that that breaks everything. Oh, that's so bad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, vendor bugs can be pretty nasty. It's like always the last thing I check too. Because like I never, well, I mean, I know the last thing I check to find it. It's the last place I even think to check. Because usually I just assume, hey, you know, who's going to be more right? The people writing these libraries are like much better tested than the stuff I write. But you were building production locally, but you weren't starting it. Oh, well, I guess a new test case just popped up. Okay, so that creates that. Now in here, join room. Okay, so we have the join room where we're now we have this like room.push, but that's based upon the old stuff. So we now need a like pub function join. In join, we're just pushing this address in. So we're gonna take in the address. And I don't think we need to return anything. All we're gonna do is just do, oh, we need self. So self dot addresses dot push address. And then in here, we're gonna say, okay, so if let some room, so we get the rooms out of here. So now we have the room, so we can room dot join address. So that everything else should be the same though. Okay, broadcast to room. So this is gonna be changing in here too. We're gonna have probably like a broadcast. Just broadcast itself. Now senders. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. We need to get, we have the list of clients in here, and those are like outside of rooms. Oh, so all we really need is the addresses. Oh, so like broadcast room, all we really need is the addresses. So it's not going to be broadcast like this. We're just going to get like get addresses. Actually, don't think we need ownership of it. We could just do self, and we're going to return a of socket address like that. So that's going to be just a reference self.addresses, and it's going to be the full thing. Send back to here. So instead of this get mute and all that stuff. Oh wait. Okay, so senders. Okay, so this is self.rooms get code. So that gives us the room, and that gives us the senders. What was I storing in here? Unbounded sender is in clients though. I feel like I did this wrong. These are really the addresses. So this is the room. So here, let's change this. Here now the room. Else room, okay, not found. And then with that code. Okay, so that's good. All right, back to here. For address in room. So for in room dot get addresses, there we go. So that gives us that. Then I think everything else is the same. We have no more errors in here. You should have rebuilt for us. So let's reset our connection. If we create this game, that all works just fine. If I create a brand new one, also I need to see, we're not displaying the room code anywhere, which is probably not nice, because like, how do you, I mean, it can just say like, hey, or just pass this around. So here we're gonna join with room code 5739. So hi, and okay, so everything is properly mixing back and forth. Okay, so perfect. Okay, what do I want to do then? Then, we need to set the deck coming back out. So we need to store the deck as part of this room. So, each person is gonna have their own like cards potentially for them. So if we just have like a draw deck, let's just say like draw deck size, and you're gonna be a U. I guess we can do U32, but like a draw deck size can never be above 52. So a U16, a U8, I think, is all I need. Wait. What? I shouldn't need to bring that in. Okay, so our draw deck size is gonna be 52. Okay. Then we need to send messages back with the current draw deck size. So this can be in messages, outgoing messages. Draw deck size is going to be a, I suppose this could be empty. So option, and you're going to be a U8. Okay, so we can set that up, that's fine. And then in the main library, when we go to send the message out, so when we create the game, we put the person in the room already. So at that point, I think we can, let's see, set the room code. Do we have the room? I don't know if we have a room. We have the main state. Main state has these. So we need to get, okay, we need to extract out, okay, we have card. So we have the set room code, we have the set message. We need to grab the, so I'm gonna debug. I need to do state dot get draw deck size, something like that, and then we're going to pass in the code, probably just a reference to the code, which I can do up here, so that way it's not owned, because we're giving ownership at this point. Okay, so we need to create you in here. Don't need to take ownership of it, so we're going to take code, which is a stir. We're going to return a option U8. So if we can't find it, it'll be a none. So I guess we need to get the room first. Room. Actually, this might be a little bit simpler. So we can just do if let sum room equals self dot rooms get pass in the code. Okay, now we have a room. Now, if we have an else, we're going to return a none. If we have a room, now we need the room to return the drawDeck size. So pub function, essentially get drawDeck size. And you can be a U8 here. Okay, so we're going to return a sum room dot get drawDeck size, and there we go. So that goes up. A manual implementation of option map. Oh, okay. Can you fix this? Yeah, look at that. Okay, so what I did, what's happening here is we have self.rooms. Come on. Self.rooms that get, give it a code that returns an option. We're going to map through the options. So if it has something in it, we're going to get the room, and then we're going to return this thing. Otherwise, it's going to return none. Okay, nice. Now, what are you yelling about? Oh, you're just having trouble saving and... Oh, you're... It's not saving. Okay, fine. Back to here. So now we can get the drawDeck size, and this should... I don't even need to do that anymore. Now we want to say message dot set drawDeck size, and it's going to be state dot get drawDeck size, pass in a reference to the code. And you can be an... I guess like if there is, okay, so if let some draw size equals state dot get drawDeck size reference to the code. Okay, so if we get this drawDeck size, then message dot set drawDeck size, drawDeck size. So in our front end, we should now be able to create a game, and look at that, 52. So if I come back to our back end, and I set that in a room, our default size is 54. Let's say we have jokers in there. Now we're getting the number of cards in this drawDeck from the back end. So that's nice and awesome. And it's displaying in the case that they exist. Now, what happens if there's 0? So if I put 0 here, none left. We could potentially have it be like an outline, maybe. That's something that we could do. Is there anything we can do to this image to like make it look like it's no longer there? Like, can I like put something on it or like fade it out? Like, I don't think I can disable it. what is it, like alpha? No, I don't know how to like, I don't remember how to do like alpha stuff for this. Because like set background color, set color, none of that like affects an image. I think what I'd want to do is for this front end, we'd have to go to a card. And we'd have to have like an outline. If there's an outline, instead of displaying the back, we just display the outline. And so this, I'm curious if I have like a, if for this div, if we have like a border, like let's say 1 pixel solid, I don't know, green. Okay, that comes like really close around this. We'd probably want like to, why is there a tiny little, okay, that's the image. Because we're doing the width of like 2.5, I think that's probably not exactly what we're supposed to be doing here. That seems to be around the same size of it, no matter what I do. Look at that though. Oh, we have like this point. What if I switch this to height? Literally exactly the same thing. Okay. What if I don't do that and instead put the width and height on here? So we say width is like 2.5. No, that has to go on to that has to go onto the image to control it properly. Or can I do something weird like with auto? I don't think I can do that, no. There's no inherit, right? Oh, there is an inherit. Oh, okay, we can do that. Now, why? I want to make sure the height is like 4 rem. What I'm So if I just manually set this to be 60, then that works. 60.333. That's like exactly what the height is. And this width inherit, height inherit. So if I do that, then we can set this up here to like whatever we want this to be. The problem being that it is the image, no matter what the image, now it's fine. Like there's a tiny little bit there, but I don't think that's gonna be a huge problem for us. So let's try this here. So in card, we have this div. The div is where we're gonna have our width. So you're gonna put this down here like that. For image, we're gonna have a width, inherit. So that brings us to here again. We're gonna have a border radius of, let's say, like 10 pixels. So I think that's gonna be fine. And then finally, I want to only have this happening. So we'll have a display outline. If this class is active. So then on div here, we're going to have a class equals, we have a choice of a method or a computed property. I think a computed property, I can't remember if methods and Vue have like cache their results, but computed properties definitely do. So I think they're a little bit cheaper, and they're magic. They auto update whenever we want them to. So if we just have a computed property, and this is like compute classes, return. Okay, so what do we want here? Our classes are going to be an array. So we need properties too, don't we? Hey, no. Props. Okay, so for our props here, we're going to take in like the number of cards, right? Or maybe like, okay, so we need like 3 potential states that this card is in. It's the card, like we're seeing the back, we're seeing the front, and we're seeing nothing at all. So what if I just say nothing? Like we have the display, and this is gonna be a string. Sort of like do it like a enum almost for this. So possible choices are front, back, nothing. Baseball team drama. What does that mean? By the way, I don't really follow sports, so I don't know if there's actually anything going on with like the baseball teams right now. Oh, is it like a team that you're on? Getting team members X. Oh. Oh, that's gonna be drama. Yeah, yep, that's gonna be a hard conversation right there. Yep. Okay, so here in compute classes, now we can check to see what this display is. So in data, you know what we can do? We have the back, which is the image. We can also, at this point in time, create sort of like a little enum here. And this is going to be our like possible classes. Oh, this is going to be the states. So like the states are going to be, we have front, and that's front. We have back, which is back, and nothing, which is nothing. And then here, so that's what it's going to be. We're going to have these be the classes too. Then I don't have to do an if statement inside of this compute classes. We're going to return I don't even know if I need an array, do I? This is going to be return this dot states of this dot display. Now, if we have nothing, now we do that. Send back to the deck. We're gonna, let's say I just pass in nothing. Wait, no. It's display. Nothing like that. You're not happy. Failed to compile. Oh, vbind directives. Where is that? In card. Oh, yes, we kind of need to call this compute classes. Oh, and then if we're displaying nothing, so let's see, display card. Okay, so I want to return this to be true if, so this one is the back of a playing card. So return, this is going to be this dot display is equal to this dot states dot back. I need to like call this in here, don't I? For this image, we also want a vif. It's gonna be display card. Well, that's not nice. You can't do this. You're writing code. I know, like, like any kind of like drama stuff totally takes away from like writing code, and yeah. Mr. Halsey rating with a party of 28. Welcome, everybody. Also, Dota, I totally understand. Brain is short circuiting. I feel that. For everybody here, welcome. How are you doing, Mr. Halsey? How's your stream? Let's see. Let's open up our terminal. Let's play a stream game, a stream raid game. Oh, very productive. Oh, nice. I saw that you were fixing something broken last time, but still working on mimeograph. Rest workspace and then asteroids. Here we go. Let's do cargo run. Release in here. You're changing the code to save 1,000 bytes of the file size. Ooh, nice. All right, so everybody, we have a raid game going on here. All you have to do is just chat, and then you'll join me in here and we'll see how far we can go.
What could go wrong?
In the meantime, so it sounds like, Mr. Halsey, that was a productive day today, which is good. Man, I rarely get to destroy the UFOs. So this is an example of a game that we things we made here on stream. An interactive sort of like experience for us all to hang out, and we try to get. We'll see how far we can get with this. I think I think I've gotten to like level 11 before with all of you. It's really hard.
Target the nearest asteroid.
Oh, come on. Level 3 dying? Oh, that's just embarrassing.
Target the nearest asteroid.
Oh, that's just unfair. Who wrote this game?
Shoot the UFOs. Target the nearest
It's even worse when I try to like read chat just in case like anybody is game too easy. Something like that. At this point in time, now it's no longer easy. Level 5 is when it gets a little bit interesting. And now is when I just hold down the spacebar and try not to die. Okay, I can relax. Okay, no more relaxing. Break's over. Last life. Oh, level 7. 2574 points. Not too bad, though. So thank you, everybody, for participating in this raid game. What we are working on today is a deck of cards simulator. So I'm trying to like make it so we have a deck of cards to display out. And if I go into the back right now, or back end, and we set default to be 52 size. Oh, it's not displaying. We need to like fix that too. But we're gonna display the deck of cards face down that we can possibly take. So this is gonna be a Vue.js front end, and then we have a WebSocket server written in Rust on the back end. And so you can join a room. Right now we're in room 5421. So if I join 5421 here, we can then chat together. So we have like a completely room separated WebSocket system. It's actually really nice. So I am getting back from the. Oh yeah, look at that. There's absolutely nothing showing here now. Because if I create the game, oh no, okay, here we go. So you're showing this, there are 52, the draw deck size is 52. So when the draw deck size is 52, I want to make sure that we are showing this. So we want to display, well, right now I'm just telling it to display nothing. It's not necessarily the best thing, but okay. If we display nothing, I kind of want an outline of the card to display. Even if it's not the exact same size, that's probably going to be fine. But I think in this card, we also need a height here. So we have a width, and we need a height of something like, I don't know, 4 rem, which gives us that. So this is what happens when there's no cards. If we come back to here and we replace you with a back, then we have this. So I think that's nice. But what I want to make sure is we have this displaying correctly. If I come to our back end and I say by default, we have no cards in the deck, this should show the empty, like, nothing essentially. So how are we going to do that? In the deck here, we need to choose what to display. We need to choose what to display based upon the number of cards in the draw deck. So that sounds to me like a computed property. So this is gonna be display. Yeah, this is the deck. So this is display display card. Probably gonna be an if. Well, I could just do another one, but the other one is probably gonna be based upon like what we find. So I don't know if I can get away with not doing if statements here. So if this dot store dot state. So first of all, if the draw deck size doesn't exist, and that's null, so draw deck size, I can make this maybe a little bit simpler. Let's say we start the draw deck size as 0, and if we set the draw deck size, you have to be something. So I'm not gonna just do that. We have to do if message dot draw deck size is greater than or equal to 0. I guess that will determine whether or not it exists. And is a number, because like if I just do it equal, if it exists, if it's 0, that will be like nothing. Then we're gonna commit to this, and at that point in time, we should be able to do this too. There we go. Now we won't get an error for that, and we'll only get a commit there if that, okay? So then, okay, so if draw deck size is greater than 0, then we want to return the back. So return back, else, return. I don't actually need the else. Let's do a return nothing. So there's that. If we go into our components and we look at room and deck, display card is nothing. Okay. And then we can connect this into display card. And now we have this here. Which means if we come back to our front end and we set you back to 52, our draw deck size is 0. What did we get here? Our draw deck size is 52. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. Draw deck size definitely we definitely got a message with a draw deck size of 52. And view X is showing draw deck size is 0. So that did not update in here. So we got, oh, because you're not that. You're draw deck size, that. Okay. There we go. So now that's set there. Come back to here, set you back to 0. Now you're 0. Okay, so that should auto then update for us and like display it nothing if there's no deck of cards. Okay, nice. Which means we can go ahead and commit all of these up. Where's my... All right, I'll just close all these windows first. So displaying nothing if the draw deck is 0. For you, it is sending draw deck size up. Now, I think we're only sending a draw deck size up when we are creating a game. We need to make sure we're sending it up like appropriately at all times. But let's take a look at what we got here. We create and show the deck of cards. We're using that, so I can remove you. Okay, so we can take a card and see it. Kind of need to have a card. There we go. Okay. So I want to be able to click on this, and when I click on it, I take the card and probably just put it in my hand down at the bottom. So to start with that, I want to be able to click on these. So that's gonna probably be a card. No, this is gonna be the deck. The deck needs to be clickable. So we want something like an @click and basically handle clicking the deck. It's just console log right now. So for this div that is around the card, I'm going to do an @click equals handle clicking deck. So at this point, if I click that, click the deck of cards. Okay. I probably want to make it so we have a cursor. Like it looks like we can click it, it's just sort of similar to up there. So for a little bit of CSS with this div, so for cards, we also want a pointer. Cursor pointer. That makes my hand a little hand. Okay, so that's good. I don't know what I can do for like maybe making it a little bit more visible. I don't know if I care that much about it. At least for right now. So when I click that, we need to send a message to the backend saying that I am taking a card. So how is that going to look like? It'll be a WebSocket send. We'll have to send like an event for taking a card. And we're gonna have to send our own. Like, how do we know who we are? Well, we know the address, so that's not terribly hard. So let's just start with, we're gonna emit out a message, and we're gonna just emit it all the way up to app, and it's gonna tell the store to send that out. So basically we're drawing a card. Draw a card is the event. Okay, so that happens on the deck. And if we look at our component list here, we're in the deck, and so the next up is room. So we draw a card, and we're just going to bubble this up. Let's just make this a handle draw card.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened.
Okay, so that's the room. Then app is next. And that's from the router view. Okay, so at this point in time, we're going to send out to an action that's going to do the thing. So it's going to be this dot store dot dispatch. Probably just like draw card is what we want to do. So in the store, we will have a method, an action here for draw card. And right now, let's just console.log to make sure that it's getting here just fine.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I.
Drawing a card from the store. So that's bubbled its way up an action all the way to the main app, and then it emits, and then it does our action here. So we can now send an event out, send a message out. So we need a new backend command. Draw card. Okay, so that's not too bad. So we also need to make sure we're sending the right room code. So we need state. And I don't know if we need anything else here. We do need to actually send this out though. So this is going to be a state, our WebSocket. We're going to send and stringify the message. Okay, head back to our back end. We should, in the main library, I think we get these. What are you upset about? Oh, right. Now we need to handle this new command. No, don't do that. Build match arms. So here's the command, and I should just be able to like debug the incoming message. Okay, so here this is running. I'll put you over there. Put you over here on the right. Okay, so create game. Doesn't hit that. Take a card. Here we go. Incoming message. Command is draw card, and the room code is 8301. And we have no message for this. We don't need a message. Now we have our socket address, so we know who the player is. And I think that's what we're gonna have to use to like control who has what card. So to begin with, when we take a card, one of these numbers has to go down. So draw card is, let's see, in a room. We're probably gonna have to have function draw. Okay, so to begin with, draw deck size. Okay, so if the draw deck size is above 0, we can draw a card. So if self dot draw deck size, I guess like if you're equal to 0, we're just gonna do nothing. I think there's an is 0, right? Is 0? That 0? I guess not. Okay. Okay, if you're equal to 0, then we want to return, just return early. Otherwise, we want to reduce our draw deck size and probably return the new draw deck size. So this is going to be return the U8 for the draw deck size. So return essentially 0. If we get past this guard check, then self dot draw deck size minus equals to 1, and then we'll just return self dot draw deck size. Okay, so in our main library we have state here, so we're gonna have to have main state. In this case, we're gonna return the new draw deck size. It's gonna be always a U8. So we need to actually, you know what? In this case, it could be an option with the U8 because the draw deck, the room could not exist. So we're gonna do very similar to what we had before. And then for this room, we want to now return room dot draw. And that's it. Is there a map mute? Oh, get mute. There we go. And back to here, we're going to handle the draw card. So we have to grab the state out. We also have to start creating the outgoing message. Guess we need to grab our room code also. Yeah, we need the room code. There's a lot of repeated code in here, so there's going to be some ways for me to like update this, make it a little bit nicer. Okay, so we can immediately set our outgoing message, set room code. That'll be fine. I don't know if we, I guess we do care about that. Set the room code to be room code. We have to, there's some cloning stuff going on, but we have to send out a string. We don't have a message, like a chat message we're gonna send, but we're gonna send the deck size. So at this point, we're gonna say state dot handle draw card and pass it in a room code. That has us the option of this. Okay, so if let sum, this is going to be the deck size equals to you, then outgoing message dot set the draw deck size to the deck size. We're ready there, and then we're going to broadcast to the room what the new deck size is. Okay, so then at this point, that number starts going down as soon as I click it. So if I have multiple people joining this room, so set your connection and you're 7460. Oh, you don't have, I see that, but I don't see these anymore. Our draw deck size is null when I came in. We are going to have to fix that. Let's see. When did it exactly disappear? Our draw deck size was coming in just fine. And then for this one, it never appeared. Wait. 7460. Yeah, never appeared. Okay, so when we join a room, we need to make sure that we pass in the draw deck size too, and when we receive a chat message, we need to make sure that appears as well. This is the back end. Okay, so join room, we need to get that. So like this is all fun. Set the room code, set the message. It's like we also need to do this here too. Oh man, this is getting bad. But no, actually this is, we already have. Okay, so if let code from the room code. State that, okay. State that join room. If let air. So I probably want the state to when we join the room to now at this point return the number of draw cards in here. So now we're gonna have a U8. So we have this room, return, okay, room dot get draw deck size. I'm thinking we're probably gonna want to like have another struct here to replace this U8, and then that struct can actually be part of the message and sent out, because I think that'll be nice. I think that'll actually make things a little bit simpler for us. But okay, at this point, we want to reverse this around. So hold on. If let error, kind of want to. Let's just match this. So we're gonna match on state dot join room. Okay, so if we get okay, we're gonna get the draw deck size. And if we get the error, we're gonna get the error. At this point, we want to do these two things here. And then if we get this error, we want to do this one thing. Now we do set message. We're also going to do message dot set draw deck size, a draw deck size. Okay, so that's for draw room. Sorry, that's for join room. So if I create a room here, that's 3903. Now, okay, I'm in here. This is working just fine, but if we say hi, those disappear. So at the same time, when we handle a message, so a chat message, we also need, so we have the room code, we need to get the if let some Zirius, hello. What REST crate am I using to provide an API HTTP layer? Yes. So my cargo.toml. I am using async tungstenite for the, let's see, async tungstenite to create the WebSocket server, and it's using async REST. And then just like a bunch of Serde and features in order to actually like tie everything together. But yeah, so async tungstenite, it's just a WebSocket server for the API HTTP layer, and that's it. And so far it's been working pretty good. It took us a little while to sort of like understand how to get that working. There's a bunch of boilerplate we had to write, which is not necessarily that fun or cool, but I'm trying to like figure out slow ways that I can abstract further and further away from the boilerplate code so I don't have to touch this file quite as much. And we'll get there eventually. Okay, so in chat, we're gonna get if let sum size equals, this is gonna be our state dot get draw deck size, pass it in room code. Then we can go outgoing message dot set draw deck size, like that. Okay, that should now handle all these things. So create the game, 7344, join with room, anybody can take it, hi, we get that message, yo, and we can continue on taking cards. And if we get all the way down to 0, it disappears and turns into that. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Now, I need to actually take the cards, because right now we're just literally deleting cards. It's sort of like I'm taking cards from the deck and just tossing it into the trash. Which, like, I guess it is a way to play cards, but probably not what you would have in mind for any kind of like game. That being said, I need to go use the restroom really quickly, and then I can grab another drink, and I'll be right back to actually set that part up. So what I'm gonna do to allow you all to have something to do that might, hopefully will be interesting, is I'm gonna start up our Asteroids game. And then I'm gonna sit here and see whether or not you all can keep me alive. So you can join this game by just chatting and saying anything. So hi. And I've got a random shooting strategy here, and you can set those up. So I will be back in just a minute or two. Good luck.
Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements have arrived.
I am back. Oh, we got to level 5. Not too bad. Game over because I died. I died. Yeah, so the way I'm still here in the game when it's playing, and so like hopefully you're able to like stop the asteroids from getting to me. But like once it reaches level 5, that's when it gets really hard. All right. Also, hello Zilby. How are you doing this today? Oh, you wanna? Okay, you're gonna look at those things. Watch your tail. Okay. Sometimes he's okay with like being held here, but I think like during the middle of the day, he wants to more explore around, go hang out someplace. Usually it's like early in the morning, late at night. That's when he wants to cuddle up. Okay, so what were we doing here? We want to make it so we can actually take a card. I know, cat things, exactly. We're gonna take a card and like put it at the bottom here, so we know what cards we have. Let's start by somehow having our cards like that we have as players. I'm doing good today. It's I've been like tired all week, just like low quality sleep. But I mean, besides that, things have been going pretty well. You hear that? Yeah, I know. What? Yeah? What do you want? Did you find something? What? Okay, never mind. Here, I'll turn on the cat cam so you can see what he was in the closet, or he is in the closet right next to me. Let's do cat cam. Come on. He's down below the closet. Hi. Doing cute cat things. Oh, I think he wants to go like up to the top shelf of the closet. That's what. I've seen him make that jump before. He can do it. I don't know if he's gonna try. Nope. Okay, never mind. Okay, so if I want to take a card, what is that going to look like for us? Here's our back end. We have our room. I think we're going to have like a player struct to like hold the cards. We need to hold the cards that each player has. Or can I somehow do something where, so we have the okay. Maybe we can do this ECS style. We have a vector of addresses here. We can also have like hands, which would be a vec of a card. It's like something like that. Now we don't have the idea of like what a card is yet. This is meant for a generic card game? Yeah, exactly. So the idea is that it's actually like requested by my parents. They wanted something that is just like a plain deck of cards that they can share across Zoom and like play with. It's something that the other card games and other like tabletop simulator and everything else that I suggested to them and like I got them a copy of, they played around with it, and they're like, yeah, it's too complicated. I just want a deck of cards. Just give me a deck of cards. I'm like, okay, I'll make you a deck of cards. And also I get to play with Rust. So that's cool. I mean, what? Sylvie. Hi. He went to the bathroom and then just started meowing. So let's see. So we need a VEC of like what the cards are. We can do this as like a U8 right now, but we really want to like have a VEC. It's probably gonna be like a VEC of cards, isn't it? Like, so we still don't, like the backend still doesn't understand what a card is. So we probably need like a card that probably is going to be like an enum with a value, right? And that would be something like, oh, I guess it would be two things. It would be the suit and the value. So we don't necessarily have a good way to like restrict the cards. Zilby, are you looking to play? Or are you just upset because you don't have food? Hi. He's on the other side of the green screen, like around a little corner. So I don't know if this is gonna actually grab him. He stopped meowing as soon as I did this though. So I don't know. I don't know. All right. We'll see if he comes in. Okay, so I think we need to figure out, I think we finally need to tell the backend what a hand, and if we need to know what a hand is, we need to know what a specific card is, and then to send that up too. So we need to know what a card is. And that is going to be interesting, which means we also need a deck. So I think we need to like mirror what we have in the front end. We have a deck component and then a card component. I think we need a deck component, a hand component, and a card component. Component, struct. I think we need those as structs. No problem, Unix. But before you do that, let me double check. So I believe I have GitHub. Is it always gist.github? Or is it like gist.com? Because I have github.com whitelisted. Oh, you came out. Oh, this is so hard to like capture. There it goes. Yeah, like feel free to link the Gist. Hopefully it's a gist.github URL, because GitHub is okay, perfect. Yeah, feel free to like link that. Yeah. And while we're waiting, I'm fishing for kitties. Who is spending more time watching it than actually going for it. Okay. There's an early version of the code. Okay, let me. Could do millions of games of poker a second. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I probably don't need quite that many. Let's take a look at that. I want this browser. Okay, so first of all, is this C#? C++. Okay, cool. I was seeing like the includes. I'm like, okay, which languages do include that? Let's see. Okay, so we have hand rank tables. So you have a struct bit. Constant expression in pop count. Okay, so pop the count. Mask bit. Oh, were you using bit masking for the cards? Or there's something, bit masking for something. Yes, okay. If you're using bit masking for what? Okay, you have the card suits, okay. What are LUTs in this case? Okay, the card ranks. Then the mass. Oh, LUT for all valid poker hands. Okay. Oh, look up table. I haven't been using very many what is it called? I forgot the word for it. For like the abbreviations for a lot of these things. Just like help my brain out. And so now, but I forget all like the common ones that everybody else uses. Okay, let's try. Is this a better position for? So you have your ranks and you have your suits. Yeah, it could be used for an efficient network transfer. Absolutely. Although in this case, like, I wonder how much. Like, I wonder how much I'm actually going to be sending. I don't know. Which reminds me, I was going to ask, do any of you have any suggestions for the, what is it called? The and analytics like to use. I could just use Google Analytics, but if there's any others that like could give me what browser is being used, maybe like a data tracking, like how much data is being passed and forth, then like that would be perfect. Because if I can get like just a simple version out there, not really caring about like how much space is being saved, we can start, when it gets used for real, I can find out what the actual, if there's any problems, and then we can fix that. And like, I'm not a huge fan of Google Analytics, but it works and it's free. So it's like, oh, if there's a better one I can do, I'll choose that. Oh, you're seeing like the top of the box. I don't know. I need like, the cable keeps on pulling the camera around, so it can't really see. Sylvie is currently right down there. I don't have a good, it's like super awkward position for the camera. Now you can see his ear. Come on. Oh, my camera's not long enough to reach. It'll end up going sideways. Okay, that's as close as I can get right now. Yeah, it's going to be pretty small data for right now. And I'm thinking of how many games I'm hosting on the computer at a time. Probably one. I don't imagine this like becoming something outside of my family using, but like I'm writing it as if like, they can like go and individually take it, and each of them can like have their own games. So maybe like 2 or 3 at a time. It's not going to be very much. Like, our servers can handle it easily, and I'm not going to have that huge of a number of players per game or per room either. Okay, and this is for full poker, so it has to have all the rules of poker in it too. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the full game. This is awesome. I kind of wish that this color coded it. Oh, it's a TXT file. Oh, that's why. That was very early. You don't own the rights to the proper version anymore. That makes sense. Totally makes sense. I get it. And that's fine. Reinventing the wheel is something we do here a lot. So, what I want to do is, the big thing here that's sort of like do you have like an idea of a hand? You have a hand rank tables. You have rank hand. So much code to figure out what what the quality of the hand is, like what the rank of the hand is. Yeah, no, okay. So I'm thinking what I want to do is like to make it really nice for me as a developer is have probably a deck of cards struct, and that's going to replace this. So let's start with that. So we have a deck, letter S. Oh, a hand was a 16-bit integer for, oh, got it. Yeah. And the deck is a 64-bit integer. That does make sense. And then you're using bit shifting to like determine exactly what it is. We could potentially do that. So it's gonna be a deck. So how do I want to do this then? I'm thinking I might not need to go to bit shifting right away. I might be able to stay with sort of like outside of that, and then if we run up against performance problems, bit shifting is going to be one of the early things that we can switch to, because those are like magic for like making things fast. Now a deck has, we have the draw size, and then we have like where the deck is, right? Like the hands. It's like who has the cards. So we would have now Mike Mine, Miss Mine, hello. Wasm, no, there's no Wasm in here. We're using just standard view on the front end, and we're using a web, I was about to say WebAssembly and I was completely wrong. A web sockets server for the server part, and that's in Rust. So do I want to create, maybe I want to spend some time and actually create the list of full cards, like all the cards that can possibly be in here. So that would be a card.rs. I'm thinking a card is an enum. So now the card can be one of many things. And that's where I think it can get interesting, right? Because a card can be, well, okay, a card is made up of a suit, and a card is made up of a value. So if we have like a suit, and a value, and if we make these tuple types, then the suit is gonna have probably like a pub enum suit. So this would be a suit, and the value is gonna be a value. Like one of these, right? Oh, you added a comment of how hand values are restored. That was in the bit shifting though, right? What line is that? You know, values, hand rank. Oh, it's at the bottom. Oh, okay. You mean like a comment? In my mind, I heard comment, and I thought you meant, oh, like a comment in the code, which is not the same. Okay, so. Right, yeah, so this is like, so if none of you have seen bit shifting, It's really, really, really cool. The idea is that you have these this binary number. So this is what this looks like 64 of them, right? Yeah. So it's a 64-bit number, so 64 zeros, and then you have a couple ones in here, right? So you figure out what each one means, what each one in these slots means, and if it's flipped to 1, that's a true for that, and if it's a 0, it's a false for that, and then you can compare them together to sort of see, you know, what it works out to be. Yeah, they're tedious to set up, definitely, but they're pretty solid once you get them working. Luckily, I don't have to do this for myself, because I don't care about counting like what things are. It goes on for a few thousand more lines of that stuff. I can imagine. Not included, of course. Makes a lot of sense. So now a suit, we have, what are the different suits that we can have? We have clubs, hearts, diamonds, and spade. I guess this should be like what, singular, right? Club, heart, diamond, or spade. And for value, we have ace, two, oh, ooh. Right. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. But for each of these, we should probably have an actual value. So ace is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, do I actually care about this? I don't know if I care about the value of this, because we're not keeping it like any kind of score. Really, I care about that, like the spelling of these. I think that's gonna be fine. So I can remove all of these. I think we can just keep these here. All right. That. And then a card is made up of these two things. And so if we're creating a deck of cards, we need 52, which is just repeating over with each of these. So I don't think we can iterate over an enum. Can I? I don't think I can iterate over the arms of an enum. But maybe there's like a macro out there that we can. Like I want one of each type. So I think we're gonna have like the cards, which is gonna be a vec of card, like that. Now we want to make sure we have 52 of these, so when we initialize this, impl deck, when we create a new deck, return a self. Let's do that root cards equals empty vector and a self with cards in it. Okay. This will make that. You've seen a few macros. Yeah. I was kind of afraid you were going to say that. Once we do it once, we won't ever have to do it again, but that's a thing. That is a thing. Okay, so Hamati, hello. If I just do this like this, it's going to be an empty deck, right? So let's just, I guess, make sure that the empty deck thing works properly. So I create a new deck here. So in a room, this entire draw deck size, we need to replace this with the deck, aren't we? So we're going to have a deck here, which is going to be a deck. So you're a deck, just a deck. So you're a deck, new. Okay, so when we create a room, we're going to create a new deck for this. What are you upset about? Oh, you need to implement debug. That's probably a good thing to implement. Drive debug, and if you're driving debug, then card needs to drive debug, and if you're driving debug, all the other stuff needs to drive debug. Okay. Then in room here. Okay. So get the draw deck size. So for this size, we want to have like a pub function get draw deck size. Now, do you have this here? It's like, I'm not exactly sure, like, who owns where the card is? Like, we have a deck of cards, but the deck gets spread out across the table. Some people have them in their hand, and some of them are in a discard pile, and some of them are in the draw pile. I kind of feel wonder, do we even need a deck struct like this? Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. I don't even know how they would implement something like that. It'd be like almost an AI writing this code. Serialization code would love, should be possible. Maybe. Again, like my knowledge of how to do that would be limited, but perhaps somebody who knows what they're doing would know exactly what to do there. Okay, so here we have the room. Now we have cards all throughout the room. So perhaps, like we have the deck of cards in here. I could have, like, we take cards from the deck and then give them to somebody else. So we take ownership from it. That, and then, okay, so then basically hands would, like, be here. As for card ownership, you have a UID for the owner. We could also do this. So we have the deck, and then inside the deck we have the cards, and then instead of a deck of cards, this could be a hash map of cards with an owner. So let's try this. We have the deck. So what if we do a hash map of like essentially an owner and a card. There's only like, so I'm not dealing with so in this specific thing, because it's just like a deck of cards, I don't care about the game types. None of that is gonna be something I care about. Now, if I do something like this with an owner, we would have like a pub enum owner. And so here we'd have we have like a draw deck. Like we have draw, discard, and player. And then we'd probably have the address. A socket address. And the socket address is how we've been associating players. So all of you would now be a hash map. Okay, so if we do this, deck owner, okay. So when we create a new deck, okay, this is gonna be fine. Okay, so we want a draw deck size. So from deck, we want a draw deck size. So we're going to loop through all the cards, filter by this. Okay. So let's say we put let's just put, I don't know, like one card in that is in the draw deck. So cards dot insert, our key is going to be the owner. So owner draw. What? Map. Draw. I keep on like accidentally hitting like page up or something. Okay, so draw. And then for you, the value is going to be a card. Oh, wait a second. Did I make card an enum? You need to be a struct. A card has both of these things, not only one of them. Okay. We have a, okay, hold on. Lumicode, hello! So we have a pub struct card. So we have a pub suit, which is a suit, and then a pub value is a value. I'm doing good. How are you doing? That's excellent to hear. Okay, so then back to here. So let's create a card. So I want to probably import a card. function new. So we're going to want a suit, which is a suit, and a value, which is a value. Just to make this nice and easy for myself. Self suits value. Okay. So card new. All right. Let's give it. First up, suit. Here, fur. Sure, you're a club, and a value ace. You're an ace of clubs. Congratulations. And here's our card. So we insert this card into the draw pile. Okay, so owner equal and hash. Jeff Ronis, hello. You think it should be hash map card owner? Then each card would have a single owner, and an owner could have more than one card. Oh, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. Let's flip this around. So we have card, owner. Okay, so then here. So cards that insert, throw in a card, and our owner is a socket address. Which we don't have one. Oh wait, no, it's an owner. Never mind. Hold on. What am I thinking of? Owner draw. Now you're upset because a card doesn't implement equal. So card. So we need to implement hash and equal. Which means suite and value both need to implement equal and hash. Okay, now this is all to get the draw deck size. So in here, we want to get the draw deck size now. Draw deck size. We want to, I'm guessing, iterate through here, filter. Okay, so we're gonna do self dot cards. I guess just get, wait, what do we have access to here? Like contains key, no. Drain filter, I don't think that's right. I think we just want to get an iter and then filter. Because it's card, so we want, yeah, let's just iter. Oh, we can iter keys. Oh, we can only do into keys. Okay, let's do iter. We're gonna do filter. We have a predicate, which is gonna be this function. Which is, you're gonna be, I think, the key. Oh. So card owner. Okay, so no, we do want to dereference here. Okay, there we go. So now we have the card and the owner. And we want to return that the card dot wait, no, the owner is equal to owner draw. Now we can only do this if we do partial equals. Well, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, the platformer was really fun. I want to do like a real platformer someday, but I don't want to use like GGEZ for that. I probably want to use something more like Godot or Bevy once Bevy is like fully released. But Bevy, like, Bevy is looking so good, but it's still so much for it to go to. It's like, I can't see the end for it yet, but it's gonna be nice. Now, can I count you? I can count you. Found a U size, and I want a U8. So as U8. Okay. You need, oh, can't compare. So your owner. Do I need to like double D? I do. Okay. Now, something that I can do is, see, this sucks here, but maybe I can do like an impl on the owner. And we can like take some of that complexity of like this thing, and we can say like, is cloud function is equal to like is type. And then we're going to take in an owner. So, I guess player type is an owner. And we're going to turn a Boolean. And so we're going to say self. I guess we have to do like a dereferenced self equal to other type. And then I can just do owner dot is type owner draw. And that makes it a little bit more explicit. Oh, so you haven't heard of Bevy. Oh, okay. So Bevy is looking pretty good recently. So it's a full game engine that's trying to become a true is trying to become like a true, what is it called? Like professional game engine, like that's gonna rival Unity and Godot. It's like with a full editor, with everything else. The editor hasn't been made yet, but it's like very high up on their list of priorities. But like they can do 3D stuff, 2D stuff, all sorts of like cool things. The UI is being worked on right now. They're having to make decisions. So it sounds like they're going to use like something very similar to the Flexbox, so like CSS style. They have hot reloading, which is going to be pretty nice. And it's going to be free and open source, very similar to Godot. So I'm looking forward, but it's like the UI isn't done yet. And there's a, not mentioned here is like a GUI to like build it and like work on it similar to Unity and Godot. That's not done yet either. So I'm kind of waiting for those things to be done in order to switch over and try it. And it's all Rust. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah. DSLs and Rust are easy. Absolutely. So yeah, this is Bevy. It's pretty awesome. Here's a link to that in case any of you want to go check it out. Godot is, from what I understand, the only other really like big choice between, well, no, there's another one, 3DGS, I think. 3DGS. Just DGS. Oh, of course, none of that's helpful. Somebody was sharing this on Reddit the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Reddit/r/Rust game dev. Oh, it's underscoring game dev, of course. Every once in a while, they share out their like a new deployment they've done. And I don't know where it is. I guess it's too far back now. Oh no, here it is. RG3D. This is it. RG3D is another of one of these game engines that oh, and you found it right before me. I did. Oh, Chiroptical. Hello and welcome everybody. Chiroptical, how was your stream? What were you up to today? Yeah, so like this is another game engine. I have not taken a look at this whatsoever. And I believe that that like if we get like a nice choice in Rust, like RG3D, Bevy, and then Godot, if those all support Rust really well, then it's going to be great for game dev, because that means there's going to be like multiple choices. They're going to be competing with each other, therefore like trying to like just one up each other all the time. Oh, it's going to be great. Stream was great, working on a pure script adopt a tree website, currently building codecs to communicate with an authentication server. Also, it just told me you what? Well, Chiroptical, thank you again for raiding again. I know, Twitch, go home, you're drunk. Yeah, that's interesting. So Chiroptical, welcome. How was your stream? Oh, you're building codecs to communicate with an authentication server. Oh, authentication is like, it's like both fun to set up and just like a pain to set up, in my opinion. It's like one of those things that's like, it's so crucial and yet, Altern, hello. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? So what I've been building is a deck of cards simulator. The backend is completely broken right now, so I can't show it to you. You need to build a utility library to make this easier for other people. I would like, utility libraries are great. I love them so much because yeah, like you can just start pulling them into like other projects and it just makes everything so much nicer. I think I have like one. I have one active utility library on Crates.io that I use like whenever I want Twitch chat integration, and it works. It actually is surprising how well it works. I love those type of crates or libraries, I guess. Okay, so we get this deck dry size, then here. So this is, we're getting, okay, so deck, so it's gonna be self dot. So here, okay, we're starting here, get, so that's gonna be self dot deck, so get deck draw size, okay. Now here, draw a card, okay. If I want to draw a card, we have to like remove it from the draw deck and give it to a player, which means we're gonna need the address of the player. So hub function draw. We need the address. So we're going to create the owner. So the new owner is going to be an owner player with the address inside. Thank you so much. Absolutely. And like whatever you're up to for the rest of the day, have a great day. And thank you again for the raid. Both of them. Okay, so we get that. And then I want to take the topmost card. That's going to be interesting. Now, I don't know if it matters if the cards are in order. So hash maps are like objects or dictionaries. There's no guaranteed order that they're stored in memory, meaning that if I go and get the first card that's a draw card, then does it matter? It's sort of like it's always shuffled, but perhaps we need to like have there's another one, isn't there? Well, so hash maps are, there's no guaranteed order that they're stored in. So like shuffling or not is not going to help. So let's see. None of this is talking about that. But there's other maps. There's let's see. Okay, so if we go to hash, let's go to collections. We have hash map and B tree map. Is B tree guaranteed in order? I don't think so. Oh, wait, is it a hash set? The documentation doesn't really say, does it? Or am I just missing it because I'm tired? Maybe collections will tell me. Okay, we use a when. So like use a vec when you want things to be stored in like order. You want a map sorted by its keys. I don't want it sorted by its keys though. I might, yeah, you might be right. I might just need to do a vec. For sequence collections like vec, this means the items will be yielding increasing order of index starting at 0. For ordered collections like B tree, for ordered collections, B tree in sorted order. So maybe B tree map would work for us. But like the code, the language itself literally says, don't do this unless you really need to. It's like we're inserting this. Let's see. Epic. Randomly curious. Apart from the borrow checker, what was the first seemingly trivial thing which tripped you up in Rust? If let. So I started with VS Code right away, and I was using RLS. And so I, like, in one of the very first examples of going through the book, and I was doing this on streams, like this is recorded and like archived to YouTube. I typed if, and I saw if come up, like, here, I'll show you what it looks like. Just like in a mill here, I just started doing if, and this was the default one. It wasn't this, it was this. So I went if let, I'm like, huh, okay. So then I just went with it because I thought maybe that's just like how Rust does if statements there, and started typing and error, because obviously this is not how to do a proper if let. Luckily, because I was streaming, we had some people in chat who was letting me know, like, no, there's another if. There's two types of ifs and if lets. So that was an early sort of gotcha. I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. You tripped up when you learned that vec of 0 is less efficient than vec.get0. Turns out they bounds check it and get optimized. Yeah, so like there's the weird little things like that. Like also you can do vec.isEmpty as opposed to vec.length is 0. Like that's also like little tiny micro optimizations. Those didn't really trip me up. More of I didn't even just know they existed. However, installing and setting up Clippy is probably the best thing for discovery of what is in the language, because it constantly tells me, hey, did you know you can do this thing that nobody taught you that you can do? Oh, yeah, okay, let me just refactor that for you. And it's awesome. So we have to figure out how to get the order here. Now, does this mean I should actually do this as like, okay, we have deck. Maybe we don't do cards like this anymore. Even though if I did that, it can only order like own one thing, which would be really nice. Like the bitmap solution would solve this. Because it could only be one thing. The card could know who's its owner, right? We have a card that's a suite, a value, and it could have an owner here. Like, what if I did this? And then we just did the cards in a deck is a vec of card. So then in here, we have cards is going to be an empty vec. And then we're going to do a card new. Then an owner. Draw. And here it's just going to be push card. So I could do this. Counterintuitive coming from C, C++. I've done so little C++ and C. Well, I guess I've done no C++, but so little C, and it was so long ago that it didn't really affect me at all. But I've done a lot of JavaScript and like scripting languages more recently. So like those are the things. It's so interesting that like whatever language you come from, you get tripped up on different things, but you still get tripped up on something. And then you need. So we don't need hash anymore. You don't need to implement hash. But equal and compare, you probably do. So first of all, if we're going to do this, owner, you should really be over here in card. Okay, so this is now going to be different because we have a vec. So we iter, then we filter, and we're going to get just a straight up card out of here. And then we want to get maybe like is a draw card, is owned by. Then card can have like is owned by. And so here's where we can say dereferenced. Actually, no, this is going to be self.owner is equal to owner. That's going to make that easier. Then we don't need this entire thing anymore. So then this is just going to be card is owned by owner draw. And then we count there, okay? So we're back to room. Okay, so that gets our draw deck size. Okay, so then if we want to draw, we have to pass in the socket address. And then for the deck, we're gonna have to have this draw. We take in the address. We create the new owner. And then we have to take the next card off of the draw. That is a draw. And give that to the player. One thing that was good was you were doing RAL patterns. For 20 years in C++, that part of your rest transition was butter smooth. Borrow checker didn't get in your face until async threading. Oh, well, then that's going to be fun. But I think like everybody's going to get hit by the async threading. Lifetimes are still a bit vague. You haven't had to explicitly annotate anything yet. That's good. You keep getting tripped up by any language, programming or not, no matter how long you practice them, just means there's still stuff to learn. That's absolutely true. That's always true. And like languages are constantly growing now. Like even like C++ is still growing. JavaScript is growing like crazy. Rust is obviously growing quite a bit. Like, so it's everything changes and mutates over time. Let's see. So when we draw, we take in the address, which is an owner. We probably want to like update this so that it's like we have just like a player struct that has the address inside of it. That probably make it a little bit easier for us. And then we take our owner and someone on a Rust users forum told you don't use references in the beginning. This was very helpful to me. I could learn everything else about language first. I agree with that. And I think it's something that like people in like, I don't know, so many different languages try to optimize right off the bat for like as fast running as possible without even checking, do you need to optimize for like that application's use case? I would recommend just like clone everything until you run into a program that suddenly you're like too expensive. Now go learn how to not clone everything. That way you don't have to worry about all that stuff and you can just like write, there's several different levels that you can write the program for and you can just get going right away. Yeah, that's my suggestion for pretty much every language. Just program in whatever makes sense and then refactor once you need to. And of course you may need to rewrite a lot, but that's part of the learning is that way, like once you're better, you don't have to write in that sort of bad way and then big refactor. You can go straight to what you know is best. So we want to find the first card. So we want the first card in this array or in this vector that is owned by draw. So can I do this? Let card equals self.cards dot iter dot find searches for element it'll stop processing as soon as the closure returns true. So this is going to find the first. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get card. All right, so this is going to be card is owned by owner draw. So then we're going to do an if let sum card equals this. Okay, so search for a card that's owned by the draw and then change its player to the owner, right? So now pub function change owner itself, and we want the new owner is an owner, and self.owner is equal to the new owner. So here we're then going to say, now we need to iter mute here in order to make sure that we actually have mutable access to this. So we need card.change owner to the owner. So when we do that, that's now going to change get the draw deck size. Okay, so then so all of this changes down. Now we can just say self.deck. Draw and then pass in the address. And we don't need I don't think we really need to do this. So let's come back to main state. So when we handle drawing a card, Self the rooms, get mute, map. Okay, so room.draw, and we need to pass in the address. This is a socket address. Pass that in there. So you become happy. And in this case, now, handle draw card. This is happening. Oh, I've been missing lots of chat. Sorry about that. What's the extension for the Rust type annotations? I'm using Rust Analyzer. So if I just come over here, it is this one right here, Rust Analyzer. That gives me, without any configuration, all of these cool stuff. Now, when we handle draw card, I think we don't need to return anything. We just do this. Hey, draw the card if we can find the room. Thank you, I am Yakitori. Also, hello. Have I used Synthwave 84 in VS Code? I don't know what that is, so no. So here, we're just gonna, okay, so attempt to draw the card. So attempt to draw the card, and we need to pass in the address. So draw the card. Then once we've drawn the card, we need to set how many cards there are. So that's going to be, I think there's still an if some deck size equals state dot get draw deck size and the room code. And then we can say outgoing message dot that draw deck size. There. All right. We just sort of like move things around. It's a plugin which makes your text glow. Let me test this out, and then we can try that out. So first of all, create a game. We have one card in here, and I took it. I mean, that was a lot of code just for that to happen. But like, okay, that's cool. Okay, so create the game. This is 3724. Okay, now, I mean, the card is still, this card actually exists now. We didn't throw it away. It just, we don't know where it is now. So we have to fix that. So, okay. We can't, like, we can take a card. So I'm going to change this up. Let's say, take a card. That's done. I think perhaps next is see the card we took. It's gonna be coming up. And then see the cards my fellow players have is gonna be in there too. However, I am getting really hungry and it's starting to affect my brain. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to continue working on this right now. So let's go ahead and make sure everything's saved. Send it on up. Okay. Nothing was unsaved there. This is our back end. So we have a card and its owner. So more and more what I'm thinking of as I'm building this out is that I should consider this a prototype. And what I mean by prototype is as soon as I get it validated by, my parents, so deliver the prototype to them, have them play with it, and then give me like a thumbs up, thumbs down, or like how to change it, then we rebuild it to be like the real version. Now, there's a lot of code that can remain the same, but the more I'm building this, the more I'm realizing I should wrap a player, like a struct around the socket address. So I'm not passing like socket address around, but passing a player around. I should like rearrange the code to be in different areas, but I still don't know what the final form of that code should be. So in my mind, I'm changing this, at least the back end, to be a prototype. So if it like prototypes should be throwaway code. And so that's in my mind, I'm now treating this throwaway code. Front end can probably be more of like, what is it called? It's not a prototype. It would be a working prototype. I can't remember. Like there's a couple different books that call it different things, and I would probably choose one of those stuff. Oh, Zilby, you're not here anymore. I don't have to have cat cam on. Let's see. So you are like nothing really changed here. So like MVP. Yeah, I guess like the front end is the MVP and the back end is the prototype to support the MVP front end. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So we are showing the deck of cards that exist in the back end. And if I do this correctly, the when I rewrite the back end, which is sort of like a refactor because the interface between the front end and back end won't change. It'll be exactly the same, but it will be in a much nicer written way. Most valuable player, most valuable back end. Okay, so these are all pushed up, so that's all good there. Okay, so with that being said, I kind of want to check out what this thing is. So you called it Synthwave 84. Let's look in that. Synthwave. Well, let's try it out. So we are, let's go into our deck. Well, this is different. So let's say if I want to do something like pub function, is this all Synthwave is? Am I missing something? I mean, it looks fine. Was it supposed to do any other crazy things? Oh, the glows need some extra mods. Hold on. As of version 0.10, no external extensions are needed to activate the glow effect. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Restart editor. There we go. Now we have the glow. Well, it's certainly interesting. How do you all like it? Oh, look at it. It's glowing. It's glowing some of the Rust Analyzer stuff. And it's, oh, cool. That's cool. You like it? We can play around with this for a while. So, what is this? So this is Synthwave 84. gonna let's add in a command for this, because this is definitely gonna be one of those things where like I'm gonna forget. So commands, custom, add command. This is gonna be bang style theme, and we're gonna be using synth wave 84 with glowing effects on. And then can I get the link to it? I guess you probably don't have a link to it in here, do you? Okay, whatever. We'll just maximum cooldown for that. Submit, and there you go. So now we can do bang theme. So it needed to modify some internal core files, which is why you got the warning. The README tells you how to undo it. Okay, cool. So nice, we got that. Now, curious, if I do this and we try line 20. Okay, that still works just fine. All right. So yeah, everything, that looks pretty cool. We'll keep on trying. What I like about this is actually makes it a little bit easier for me to read, because like there's more of a difference between each of this stuff, each of the words. And it's like, it might be a bit much for some people, but it's actually nice. Now I know some people use, oh, who was it? It was CR Griffin was using a VS Code extension that like made everything explode in like fireworks as you typed. That I think is a bit much, but we all deserve a little bling in our lives. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I'm curious, what does this look like if I used if I wear the glasses that remove blue lights? Like how? Okay, not too bad. It actually makes it easier to read when you're like got blue light blocking on.